everyone. Today we see what Jesus does with death. Jesus crossed the lake again. On the other side, a large crowd gathered around him on the shore. One of the synagogue leaders, named Jairus, came forward. When he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet and pleaded with him repeatedly, "My daughter is about to die. Please come and place your hands on her so she can be healed and live." So Jesus went with him. But while Jesus was speaking with the healed woman, messengers came from the synagogue leader's house saying, "Your daughter has died. Why bother the teacher anymore?" But overhearing what they said, Jesus said to the synagogue leader, "Don't be afraid. Just have faith." He didn't allow anyone to follow him except Peter, James, and James's brother John. When they came to the synagogue leader's house, he saw a commotion with people crying and wailing loudly. He went in and said to them, "Why are you making a commotion and crying? The child's not dead, but asleep." And they laughed at him. He sent them all out, and taking the child's parents and his disciples with him, he went to the room where the child was. Taking the child's hand, he said to her, "Talitha cum," which means, "Little girl, get up." Immediately the girl, who was 12 years old, got up and began to walk around, and they were absolutely amazed. So this is the story that surrounds the story of the bleeding woman we saw yesterday, and both of these stories help us define what faith is. So here we have this man, Jairus, a religious leader, and a father whose daughter is dying. He's clearly a man of faith, and he trusts that Jesus can heal her. But I want to focus on one moment in this story, when his friends come and tell him, "Hey, it's too late. Your little girl is dead. Right? Don't bother." Where do you think Jairus' faith was in that moment? Was there any left? Or did it die too? What would you say to God in that moment? "I spent my life serving you, and you let this happen? What's the point? What if all this is just a waste of time and you're not even there?" If you've lived much of life, you've probably had some moments where you've asked those questions. And so today, Jesus says to you, don't be afraid. Just have faith. See, faith is not about outcomes. It's not about forcing miracles. It's a relationship. Sometimes we're the ones who reach out in faith, but sometimes it's Christ who reaches out to us to raise us up, to offer a healing that's bigger than death, that touches our fear of death, because maybe that's the root problem all along. I heard a story of a man who suffered with Parkinson's disease for most of his life, and he was approaching his own death after 20 years with this. What he said was, "I have been healed, but not of Parkinson's disease. I've been healed of my fear of Parkinson's disease." Now, I don't know what that's going to look like in your life, but I have faith that no matter what happens, in some way, someday, we will all hear these same words of Jesus. Talitha cum, in his own original language, "Little girl, get up." The love of God is greater than death, the death of loved ones, the death of our dreams. So even with all of our questions, all of our uncertainties, we don't have to live in fear.